And remember, if I can cook it, so can you. So go nowhere. Let's create. London broil is a cut that you can find in certain part of the cow or bison, like in this case. It's a very lean, muscular cut, even when it comes from the house. And bison tends to be leaner. Therefore, it's going to require a little technique when you cook it. And not much different than the cow because both of them, this particular cut is lean. But I have this here because I'm going to show you how to cook it in this Wagner cast iron uh, pan, 85 years old. And so I'm going to see how it cooks in that kind of cast iron, old school, 85 years old, but I still want my food to be delicious. So this is what I'm going to do. I already pat it dry. It's been out for about 45 minutes out of the refrigerator. It's room temperature. I always marinate your London broil. Always. So what I'm going to do, because I'm going to apply salt and I'm going to make it a little bit moist with some oil. I'm going to do some slide. I literally sharp knife and literally just floating that knife. No pressure or nothing. I just like letting it down. Like, see, like this. Like, I'm not even pushing. I just letting it down and creating those little edges. If it's not that sharp, then you put a little bit tiny pressure. But mine is sharp. I don't want to cut it. I just creating those little slide cuts. I don't want to go too deep. I just want to put some slide cuts. And the reason for that, and I'm going to do it this way too. The reason is very simple. I want my ingredients to navigate inside the crevices of this meat. Nothing more, nothing less. I want this salt to seep in through it. I want the moist type ingredients to do the same. I'm not cutting through, as you can see, it's not the other side. I keep it simple. So let's start with some oil, just a little bit. Don't go crazy, doesn't matter what kind. Just put a little bit, both sides. I'm going to use my hand here, my left hand. Put it here, put it there. Go back to this side. Moistening that baby, getting that moist. Next thing I'm going to do is the salt. That's all I need. I don't need the pepper or anything like that. I'm just going to need some salt. And I'm going to be a little bit generous. And this stuff is going to go to those crevices. Now, salt by nature tend to dry the liquid out. So don't cook this immediately because the osmosis process is going to draw the liquid and it's going to make it tougher. But if you let it marinate for 15, 20, preferable 30 minutes or longer, it reverses the osmosis. And then the sauce, after drawing that liquid, is going to create more liquid, more flavorful, tender, and add the jazz. Let me put a little bit on this other side. Just a little bit. Another done. Now it comes a little bit of garlic, Going to mince it using this. I'm going to put it through the side only where the cabbages are, because I want them to go deep inside, not deep, but go inside the meat. So I'm doing like this. It's going to hang through the cabbages. Make this stuff delicious, right? Hey, I know I'm showing how this cast iron pan is going to, behave in 85 years old. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to cook my meat correctly. Teaching you some tricks here while at it, right? And you can do this with beef too, by the way. I'm doing it with bison. You can do it with beef. The only difference that because this is a thin cut, you can cook it with beef like that. If it was thicker, you have to go to my description, in my video description, and see some links that show you how to do it with beef. When it's thicker, you might require reverse sear and other tricks. I'm going to get this put in this little bag, and I'm going to centralize the marinade. You can do this overnight if you want to. You can do it 30 minutes, whatever you want. But I'm going to use some balsamic vinegar. This is like the touch that's going to add to this meat. Just a few drops. That's about a tablespoon and a half. And I'm going to seal this baby. Oh, close it up. And then I'm going to centralize the flavors like this. You can tie it up if you want to, it's up to you. But 30 minutes to maybe 24 hours, whatever you prefer. So while my meat is getting into room temperature for at least 30 minutes, I'm going through the process of the marination before you start cooking it. What I'm going to do is create that dip. And I'm going to go 25% soy sauce, 25% mirin, 25% malt vinegar, and 25% white wine vinegar, meaning that they're equal amount. If you don't want equal amounts and you want to put a little bit of less of the white ones, like a little bit less of white wine vinegar and mirin, that's fine too. But I'm going 25%. And all I'm going to do, I'm just going to put them mix in one container. Put it there and mix it around just to make it. Getting my dip ready, okay? Nice, very nice. Here comes the Wagner, getting preheated, 85-year-old, an octogenarian. So what I'm going to do to cook this London broil, I'm going to put, which by the way, the London broil has been out of the refrigerator. You have to leave it out at least, even with the salt and stuff, for about 30 minutes. I'm going to put a little bit of vinegar. I'm going with apple cider vinegar. Oh, it tastes, tablespoon. Woo! Now I'm going to add a little bit of oil, doesn't matter what type, just a little bit. It's going to jump a little bit. If you start jumping too much, just take it out and let it cool down. There's a mix of liquids. Put it back here. And here it comes, baby. Here it comes. London broil. Woohoo! Let me put the juice here too. Relatively high heat. So because of the thickness, it's about 3/4 inch. I'm going to let this side cook for about 2 minutes, okay? Couple minutes later, see that beauty? Other side, minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes. But let me introduce some butter to soften things up in the body of the cast iron so it doesn't dry up too much. While at the same time, get this baby some juices, huh? Some juices. Let me take some from the side. See what I'm doing? Putting some of the juices here. See how beautiful it looks? Want to see how it looks on the other side? See? And that looks perfect. If that doesn't, I don't know what else does. So it's ready to be put to rest. Put it to rest for about 5-8 minutes, okay? Put it to rest. And you do this by switching it here. Put it rest. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this baby very thin, okay? Very thin. Not too thin, but you know what I mean. And see how nice and pink. And I'm going to be eating this baby with my, you know what? My dip that show you how to make. Nothing more, nothing more. I don't need vegetables, I don't need potatoes. I only need this. And I had to hold it and put pressure because this stuff can move. That's why you see holding it. But I don't have to because this knife is sharp, you know. But because it's moving, I have to hold it. It's like, don't cut me. Don't cut me.